Hello nieces, hello nephews, it's your Uncle Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do unbiased price action analysis. Guys, I'm looking at the SPY on the daily chart and I have to say it is still looking bearish. It is still looking bearish, and you know the best part for me is that I've been saying in 2023, December, November, I kept saying to many of us, do not call a top. We don't have to call a top, okay? And I try to talk about the best time and conditions that we do want to call a top. When we get false breakout setups and exhaustion gaps, stuff like that. And that's kind of what we got. We had a false breakout setup of my 476.5 level. Kind of had an exhaustion gap that led to more downside. It's been, you know, the top was at 477.5. Today we reached a low of 467. This is amazing. A little more than a $10 drop so far. And it's still looking bearish. Why? Because I had this pink trend line here test the low of December 15th, December 20th, and yesterday, January 3rd. 3 touches, and today we got a breakdown. So overall, still looking bearish. And for this breakdown to stay intact, it has to stay below 469. So as long as SPY stays in below 469, it is bearish. It is in breakdown mode. And I'll be watching today's low, okay? 467 was today's low. If we can take out today's low at 467, that would be bearish follow through, and we could possibly head down a little lower. All right, take out 467. That will put 465.5 and 464 in play. Below that is 462 and 459.4 as the important critical level that I have. Remember, we cleared 459.4. That was July high. And since breaking it out, we led to a beautiful move to the upside. But we didn't quite back test it as support. So let's see if that's what SPY is trying to do. And it's very possible that can happen. But for tomorrow and next week, SPY needs to stay below 469 to keep this breakdown intact. That is the bear case scenario. Bull case scenario is very simple. For this breakdown to be invalidated, 469 must recapture. All right? If 469 recapture, that is a false breakdown setup. If we get the false breakdown setup, that is our trigger based on the price action to go long or to buy calls. Okay? Above 469, I would be bullish. And I would favor a back test of 471.3. And of course, above 471.3, it's very possible that we just put in a higher low and we are going to work our way back up, potentially to all-time highs. Okay, but of course, I play it level to level. So above 471.3 is 473. 475 is 476.5. 478.5. And of course, all-time highs around 480. Okay? That's the bull case scenario. Triple Q still looking bearish as well. I have this these green fib levels here from July 19th down to October 2023 low. Got fib extension level. And we took out that 398.75 level yesterday. And today, it looks like we back tested that breakdown level as a resistance, confirming yesterday's breakdown. And now it's pushing down lower. Guys, if 396 fail as support tomorrow, we are likely heading down lower, down to 394, maybe all the way down to 390-ish. All right, I would only be bullish on Triple Q if 398.75 recapture to give us the false breakdown setup. Just like false breakouts put in tops, false breakdowns can put in bottoms. So bulls need above 398.75 and 400 to be bullish and put upside targets in play. One of those potential targets would be 402.5 for the gap fill and maybe go higher to 404 and 405.4 Fibonacci extension level. All right, guys. IWM. Beautiful IWM. Also put in the top with a false breakout setup of that 203 level. Gave us a nice gap down here. Now it's lingering around this next critical macro level fib level. Actually 193.3 is a macro level fib level. So if 193.3 fails tomorrow, bearish, will likely drop down to 190. All right, to be bullish, we need a bounce here, recapture 196. If we can recapture 196, then maybe we could be, I'll be bullish and favor us go back higher. 197.5, 199, maybe 201 and 203 would be back in play. Okay, guys, Tesla Got the breakdown of my rising wedge yesterday. I mentioned to all you guys, if we break down 242, that's a breakdown of the rising wedge. We got the breakdown today. It retested the rising wedge as resistant and showed some selling pressure. Okay, even though we closed around yesterday's close, look at the context. We got the breakdown of the rising wedge and we rejected from the rising wedge. Overall, it's still bearish. So follow through would be to break down 238 and 234.6 tomorrow. Those levels fail, we are heading down a lot lower. The only way I would switch back to bullish is if the rising wedge recaptured. To cancel the breakdown, that means it needs to get above 244 and 247. 244 and 247 clears, I would be bullish on the Tesla. Otherwise, I'm bearish. Watch the breakdown of 238, 236, and 234.6. All right. NVDA, I was watching it because we had a decent body red candle followed by a doji. I was watching for a rising channel. We had a gap up, not a rising channel, a rising star. We had a gap up watching for the big body green candle. It did give us a move up, but it wasn't a big body green candle. Therefore, it does not qualify as a rising star. Okay. Now, the big level that bulls need to recapture is 481. That's a start. 483 and 484.5. Okay, those levels clear. Bullish with 486.5 and 490 back in play. Okay, for this to be a dead cat bounce and to drop back to the downside, 477.5 must fail and put 476, 474 or lower down to 471ish back in play. Okay, Apple is still looking bearish, guys. Gave us a gap down, closed right around that 50% fib level at 182. Okay, 182 is the equilibrium level. Above it, bullish, below it, bearish. However, watch out, it might chop a little bit, okay? Bearish follow through would be to break down 180.7. So if below 182 and it break down 180.7, sell-off continues. Doesn't matter what the RSI says, okay? It matters what the price action says. If we're going to bounce because we're in oversold, then the price action needs to confirm it by recapturing some lost levels. All right, so above 182, 183.5, and 186 are the levels that need to clear to be bullish. All right, if those levels don't clear, we're not bullish. But if they do, bullish with 188, 190, and 191.2 back in play. Okay, overall, 180.7 failed tomorrow. We are likely heading down lower, maybe down to 178, maybe even lower. AMD, a nice, beautiful pullback, you know, but right now it look like it's chopping a bit. 136 is the level to watch. Above it, bullish. Below it, bearish. That's the equilibrium level. But if it is above 136, it'll need to clear 137.5 to trigger longs and put upside targets in play 140, 142 plus. Now, if it's below 136, then it needs to break down 134 to put 132.8 and lower targets in play. Okay, guys, let's keep this simple. Microsoft, we have an inside daily candle set up here. So it's still in overall chop mode. But if you look at the context, look at this white trend line. We got a breakdown, okay? Follow through for tomorrow would be to break down 366.5. If that levels fail, bearish. And we are likely heading down a lot lower, maybe down to 363 and 360. I would only be bullish if this white trend line recaptured. That means it needs to get above 370 and 372.5 to put 375.5 in play. Above 375.5 would be a breakout of the green trend line. That's when I'll be bullish with 377, 380 in play. Google looking bearish, guys. It's looking bearish, breaking down this trend line that I have. It tried to recapture it yesterday, but looked like a false breakout. False breakout. So if it breaks down 137.5 tomorrow, look to short. We are likely heading down a lot lower, down to 134.3, maybe down to 132. I would only be bullish above 140 because then there'll be a recapture of my downtrend line. So above 140, I'll be bullish with 142.3 all in play, maybe even higher, okay? Netflix, look like it's trying to bounce a little bit, trying to put in the bottom, but not too convincing to me. However, if it can stay above 475 and close above 478, maybe I'll be a little more bullish, okay? And that will put 482 plus in play. Otherwise, if we drop back down below 473, 470, and 468, bearish. We are likely dropping down a lot lower, maybe even lower than 462, down to 459, maybe down to 454. Please add these levels to your charts. Meta is trying to put in a bounce. Recapture this 346 level here. If it could stay above 346 bullish, that will keep 350 and 352 in play. If it drops back below 346, that's a false breakout. Putting lower targets back in play. 344, 342, 340, and 338.4. All right, here is Amazon looking really bearish. I am overall bearish below 146. If 144 fills tomorrow, 142, 140, and 138.2 are all in play. I would only switch back to bullish if 146 and 148.5 cleared as resistance, and then I would favor some upside. Otherwise, I'm bullish. AVGO, next support is at 1048.2. If that level failed, guess what? 1036.8 is in play, with 1028 and 1022 in play below that. I will only switch back to bullish if 1059.6 recaptured to put 1069.2 and 1075.9 back in play. All right, guys, let's look at the option flow in Darkpool. We got the most Darkpool order levels today coming in at 467, at 2.4 billion in premium, and 1 cent off of that, 467.14, 943 million in premium, 934 million in premium, 467.16, 934.3 million in premium. How is that the same thing? So a lot of activity around that 467 level, and besides that, 468.74 with 2 billion as well. Okay, you guys got your Darkpool orders, add them to your charts. Make sure you label them. All right, let's take a look at the option flow now for filter 100K premiums or above, and it is bullish. Triple Q is bearish, doesn't agree with the SPY. IWM is bearish as well. Apple is bearish. Tesla is bullish. NVDA is bullish. Amazon bearish. AMD, it's bullish. God, it's pretty mixed. Microsoft is bullish. Is that all? AVGO. Nothing for. Oh, it crashed on me. So sorry, guys. You know what? I'm sorry it crashed on you guys. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. To make it up for you, I'm gonna have the great Leon sing y'all out. Peace.